In this video, I'm going to show you how I make a silky smooth pumpkin soup using a high-speed blender. And it's a recipe that you haven't seen before. And I know that because it's my own recipe. You're watching my Aussie Gardening Kitchen. My name's Daz. Stick around and check it out. So first thing we do is I'll just move these ingredients out of the way, because what I'm wanting to do is to lift up the whole tray, and I'm just going to carefully pour my pumpkin, well, say pour, but scrape, my pumpkin and sweet potato onto a baking tray. Now, just to help you out, I've got 2 cups of pumpkin. It's actually a butternut squash, but by all means, you use any type of pumpkin that you like. Obviously, there's different types of pumpkins with stronger flavors out there, but in this case, I'm using a butternut squash. It's something that I do enjoy using and I grow a lot of. And I've also got a sweet potato here. It's about a cup of sweet potato, so it was only a small one. And I'm just going to get them onto the baking tray. Now on this plate right here, I'll take this off for a second and we'll get to that in a minute. I've got cinnamon. I've got 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon, so I'm just going to get that onto there. Nutmeg. That is 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then I've got salt and black pepper, and there's a 1/8 teaspoon of each of those on the plate there. Get them on there. I've got 1/8 cup of maple syrup. Now the maple syrup is going to caramelize with the beautiful pumpkin and sweet potato, which will already caramelize themselves. And I find the combination of the caramelization of the sweet potato and the pumpkin and the maple syrup to be absolutely fantastic. So that's the way I'm going in this direction. And then of course you've got those spices in there with the nutmeg and the cinnamon, just to give it a bit more, just delicious flavor. Already I can smell it all and it just smells fantastic. And to that I'm going to add about 1/2 tablespoon of vegetable oil. All right, so we're just going to give that a really nice mix. Get our fingers in there and enjoy the process and make sure those flavors combine quite well. Okay, so I've just mixed that up really nicely. All the flavors have blended so well together. Now this is going in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. I'll put Fahrenheit on the screen right now. And my oven, this should take about 15 to 20 minutes just to get them to slowly cook through and caramelize and get a bit of flavor happening on the tray. So I'm over at the stove now, where I've got my saucepan on a medium heat. And to that I'm going to add about 1/2 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Give that a stir around just to spread that heat around in the pan and through the oil. And to that I've just added 1 medium onion, which is roughly 1 cup of onion. Just breaking up this onion with the spoon, just so it cooks more evenly. And here I'm just softening the onions and also drawing a bit of flavor out of them into the pan. It's been about 3 to 4 minutes and the onions have started to color. They've drawn out the flavor and they're starting to go translucent as well. So I'm quite happy with this stage. Now I've got 4 cloves of garlic and I've just sliced them here. I'm not too fussed about how I chop them because I just want to draw out some flavor, give them a bit of color. Not too much color because garlic will go bitter if you burn it. And this is going into the blender, so there's no point worrying about how big or small I chop it. Oh, fantastic. You can smell that garlic already. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm just keeping an eye on those onions because I don't want to burn them. So they're getting color nicely. I'm quite happy with that, with the color on the skins. Color is flavor, just as long as you don't push it too far, because really dark color, as in charcoal, is bitter. The garlic and onion have colored very nicely, so now it's time to add 2 cups of vegetable stock. And I've just stirred that in. And I'm actually going to turn off the heat now. Oh, it smells fantastic. Now to this, I'm going to add that stock. With those beautifully cooked onions and garlic. And I'm just going to give that a gentle stir and a gentle scrape on the bottom of the pan, just to lift those flavors and that sweetness of the maple syrup that's caramelized and stuck to the bottom of the tray. So I'm just going to pour all of this into a bowl because it's going to be a lot easier for me to pour from a bowl into the blender. Okay, so it's time to get this beautiful soup mix into the blender. Now, if you want to, you could get a spoon and pick out all the little dark pieces if you like, so you don't have little black specks. But I'm not worried about that at all. So I'm just going to get this straight into there and get it blending. So while setting up, this has had a chance to cool down a little bit. So let's just get it straight in there. Lid on, nice and tight. And let's just go straight to high and get it going. Now watch here carefully and you should be able to see a little bit of steam. Now one really cool feature about this machine is that it's a Vortex Blender, and the way they've designed the machine with the blades and everything that goes with it, it blends in a vortex motion, and being such a high-speed blender, the longer you have it on the high speed, it will actually heat up the food. It's incredible. So I can actually, if I wanted to, heat this food up in the blender and eat it straight from the blender. Well, put it into a bowl and then eat it from the bowl after it's heated up in the blender. But what I'm going to do is put it into a saucepan and heat it up in the saucepan, as I think most people watching this video will probably be doing it that way. Now, if you do think this blender is very cool and you'd like to have one of these of your own, I'm going to pop a link down into the description. Now, it's my own link to the product, and I'll actually give a discount coupon link as well, so you can actually get a discount when buying it. I really do recommend it. I've had enough time to use it now and experiment with it, and I'm absolutely sold on it. Now, to be transparent, this was gifted to me by Fruity International, but I quite honestly like it, and I'm very happy to have it and use it quite often. Okay, so we'll get this beautiful mix into the saucepan and bring it up to heat. Now this is not going to take very much heating up on the stove at all, because the blender has done a very nice job of actually heating the soup up as it was blending. Look how smooth that is. That's incredibly silky smooth and creamy. There's no cream in there. There's no pureed cashews or anything like that to make it creamy. That blender has absolutely nailed it and done a fantastic job at giving me such a creamy, smooth, silky smooth, soft soup. It's unreal. Now there is one final option, and that is to add cream. Totally up to you, you don't have to. I've got a little bit of cream here. This is actually a lactose-free cream. Now I'm just going to add a little bit, about a tablespoon, and blend that in. Only one thing left to do now, and that's to dish up. This is such an awesome recipe, and that blender does such a fantastic job of making it so silky smooth. It's just incredible. Now, you saw me put some cream and a bit of parsley on top for decoration, but I really do recommend, if you like bacon, to get some bacon out there and dice it up and fry it off and get it all crispy. Sprinkle it on top, because that pumpkin and sweet potato that's been roasted in the oven with maple syrup, along with crispy bacon. Oh my, what a combination. And in fact, I'm now looking at it and wishing I'd done it right now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you click on this one right now on the screen. It's one of my favorite recipes that I'd also like to share with you. And if you don't mind, please consider giving me a thumbs up, subscribing and ticking the notification bell, sharing me out to all your friends and family. It helps my channel grow. Again, I just want to thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.